is yourself. So let's talk a little bit, Michelle, about client, product use and all of that. I know we just touched on it.
Yes.
But as someone who's educated yourself so thoroughly on hair care and maintenance, which I know because I get all the questions and I'm like, shoot, I got to make sure I can answer some of these questions. Shoot, I feel like I need to go back to school. I tell you what, it is something else because, and I have to remind myself that, yeah, if you don't keep learning, you get left behind. And I can say this, if I'm being honest, I'm a little behind in the curly hair world. So you've kind of helped bring me up to speed. But what's your take on paying professionals for hair services since you know so much about your hair? I guess you kind of just answered it in a way.
Yeah, I think that stylists are very important. I think it's no different than a doctor. Like there's so many great doctors out there, but there's also a doctor that graduated in the bottom of his class, and so you just have to hit your wagon to the right stylist. You're a great example of what I would hope and wish that anyone out there looking for a stylist could find, and they, who they could partner with. Someone who listens, someone who doesn't have an ego, that if I'm coming to you and I'm saying, hey, have you heard about this? Your ego isn't so big that you can't say, no, I haven't heard about that. Let me look into that. Can you give me information so I can go research the proper thing? But yet still is so edgy enough that you continue to educate me as well. It's a true partnership.
Yeah.
And so I just say, pick them like you would pick your doctor. Don't just go in.
I like that. That's a great answer. And two, I want to say this to giving stylists a little bit of grace, because now you're not the conduit, the solo conduit to hair education anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now we already had Google, but social media, to me, it's actually a face to the words, and tutorials, and again, whether you're at the bottom of your class or the top of your class, a non-professional doesn't know that. So
Yep.
they're following and listening to you. And so when you're a stylist now, just like I'm sure you use doctors as an analogy, now you have a patient coming in telling the doctor what medication they want to take. So, which is crazy. And so for hair, same thing. You have, no, look, I saw this on Instagram. I want you to do this. And I saw this product. I started using this. So it's really hard today to really prescribe anything, because there's so many nuances now that we have to deal with as professionals, and that people are taking, they're doing a lot of they're following at-home influencers.
Yeah.
And then they mess their hair up. Then they come to us. So now we have this other layer, and we're like, well, I don't know. What did you use? And then they say, well, I used shea butter, or I took this supplement, and you're like, well, how long did you use shea butter? Because if I was a part of that conversation from the beginning, I probably would have told you don't use it in its solidified form.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah. It's insane. Like you're using 10 times more than you should, versus liquefying it and using a dropper in your hand, emulsifying it, and then applying it. I mean, just stuff like that I've experienced behind the chair. So that I did want to kind of throw that in there. You research hair products, Shelly V 24/7. Literally, that's the perfect name for you, because I think you are on the hair game 24/7. You research products extensively, as you said, because you share them with me. And I'm like, well, let me turn this bottle over. What is this? Yeah. And you have beautiful, healthy curls as a result. What can hairstylists learn from you about product use for curly hair?
Well, just like I said, it's a partnership, right? And it's
Mhm.
just that understanding, which I feel like they do, but understanding that every head of hair, there can't be a one size fits all.
Can
And
you explain that to clients,
yeah,
please, who
right.
haven't done? Because what do you recommend for my curl?
I
Well, where
don't,
do I start?
yeah, like
Where do I begin?
it's really trial and error. Like even as an influencer, I try to be very responsible with what I put out, and I always say, hey, I'm not recommending this to you, I'm just telling you what works for me. And it's been through trial and error that I've been able to figure it out. So like if you get some products, don't just try it one time and be like, oh, that's garbage. No, you need to try it at least 3 or 4 times to be able to kind of master it and be like, and make a real call on whether or not it works for your hair. Um,
But
it's
we're in the era of magic pill days. Oh, let
oh
me
yeah,
take a shot. I instantly lose weight. Let
yeah, we
me take
want
a
Ozempic
pill.
for the hair.
Let me do it, and it's here. It's done. So nobody has the patience. You have TikTok. 7 seconds is down to 7 seconds because 15 is too much. 15-second video, and you're
Well,
just like, so the attention span is already just convoluted. And
yeah,
then you add, oh, now you got to wait for something to work. Like,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. And speaking of just kind of hitting upon what you just said, you have to really use discernment with who you follow and who you get your advice from, because just because they are an influencer or even a hairstylist doesn't necessarily mean that they really know what they're talking about, and I've been able to shoot some holes in, well, certain things that I've heard, and I'm like, you know, um, and yeah, you got to
Well,
use
it's
different.
once you tell somebody that they're going to be able to monetize, well, let me figure out how to do that. Then now it's acting. It's like a reality show is only good the first year. Once
Mhm.
they got it down, they start to alter, edit, not say, it just
Yeah.
becomes less and less authentic. And so you're right. And
Mhm.
right now it's so heavily saturated.
Yeah, and money is the root of all evil.
Mean. Yeah.
Yeah, money is the root of all evil. People will sell
Yeah.
their souls for it. They will tell you something is the best thing since sliced bread when they will never put it on their hair again, all because they got a paid, sponsorship from a brand or what have you.
And
And
branding is what we're going to get into next,
mhm,
which is perfect timing. But before we leave this topic, what are the most common misconceptions that you've come across with natural curls? Like,
yes. So there are so many rules in the natural hair community until it's not even funny. And so I'm really trying to use my platform to break down all of those rules. And one of the rules is you can't put heat in your hair as someone who's natural, that it's very bad for your hair. Well, in the pictures that you've shown of how wrecked my hair got and how severely damaged it got, I had not put direct heat in my hair for over a year. Yeah, I had not put direct heat in my hair, nor any chemicals, no hair dyes, no anything. Just the products that, I was told and all that sort of thing. And you see how damaged my hair got. Now, had I been putting heat in my hair prior to that and actually getting my hair blown out to have it fully assessed, I don't think my hair would have ever gotten to the point that it got to. And so I would just say, you know, you don't have to follow all of the rules outside of this current blowout. That's what my hair basically looked like yesterday. My curls are thriving. They look beautiful. They're healthy, and I use heat. You know, I would also say if you're someone who knows about the no oils and butters method, that not to be afraid to use products that are rich in oils and butters. What I now understand and know is that you can use anything in your hair, like even the shea butter. I don't use shea butter in my hair, but you could legit use that in your hair as long as you properly cleanse your hair. Now, you may have to clarify the crap out of it, which wouldn't be the greatest thing, but as long as you properly cleanse your hair routinely, um, like you know that
You're golden.
you have to have a clean scalp. It's like watering a plant. Your hair grows from your follicles, and if your follicles are compromised and not healthy, and they're blocked because of dirt and bacteria and everything, like you're asking for issues.
Yes, love it. Perfect advice. And I hope you all take that into consideration when you get frustrated with your hair or whatnot. And just remember those words. You know, it's a journey. It takes a cocktail of many things in order to
Mhm.
get that end result. And more importantly, it has to work for your hair and it has to work for your lifestyle. So
Absolutely.
let's jump into your content creation and branding. And you've done such a good job building your community. I mean, hey, I'm learning from you with that too, and hopefully I can be you someday. So you've built a large following on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And now I noticed you parlayed onto YouTube, which is
Uh-huh.
so smart. How did you turn your hair journey into a successful content platform?
Just showing up authentically, me being genuine, and just sharing my story. I never had any intentions of going on to YouTube. The whole reason why I went to YouTube was to share my story about what was happening to my hair due to the damage. But then it's also morphed into, hey, I just want to share what's happening to my hair in real time as much as I can in a longer format type of way, where I can show you in detail, like, I'm not recommending these products, but hey, these are the shampoos I'm using. This is why. This is where I use a deep conditioner, a protein treatment, a bond builder, oil. Like these are all the reasons why I'm able to do it in a longer
Now,
form.
which is that just for long form, right? Because some like TikTok would be short form interest and YouTube more long form. Which do you have most success? Are you on all of the platforms or just YouTube and Instagram?
So I dibbled a little bit on TikTok, but I don't like TikTok because I feel like I'm being irresponsible by posting on TikTok because there's such short snippets. Like you can't really get the full
Be honest and authentic. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm really funny about that. So I'm just like, I'm just, I just have not done much
No,
there.
I hear you. You know, you can be successful on just one of those. You don't
Yeah,
even have to be on all of them. And it is kind of scary with all the platforms, honestly. I mean, right now, I think I'm going to go old school and circle back to emails
yeah,
because that's the one thing that they really can't take from you, because if you're using a platform, you're just almost like leasing unknown territory. So
yeah.
when,
Because if it goes down tomorrow, like where do
yeah,
all your followers, like your
Twitter turned into X.
right? So what
And
they
then what happened to the Twitter people,
yeah.
who don't align with X?
Yeah. What they say to do as a content creator, which is the smart thing to do, is to create some sort of resource that ties the
Community.
the community into you saying, "Hey, give me your email and I will send this to you." And then you just kind of keep a master list of the emails, and then that way, if like how there was a threat that TikTok was going to go away,
Exactly.
you don't just because a lot of people make their living off of content creation.
Oh, they do. It's a real job. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, a lot of work goes into this.
It's a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of energy. And if you've put all that time and energy into a platform and then it's gone tomorrow, and that's how you pay your bills, that's a real situation.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
That is a deal breaker. And I'm blessed enough to be in a position where I do it more as a hobby out of the love for just wanting to share my natural hair journey. And so I primarily post on Instagram because you get like literally like up to date
Yeah, that's true.
of where I'm at with my hair. I do lives on there, and then YouTube, of
So
course.
where did the phrase "cause we nosy," what does that mean to you? Where did that come from?
Oh,
And
girl.
how did you even get your followers to embrace it?
Oh, because we's nosy. Like, you know, all the things. I know I am so curious and so nosy.
Oh
Like,
my God, I'm a hairdresser. Are you kidding me? I think it's in our DNA. We're
yeah,
nosy because they tell us so much, and so we want to know more.
girl, like when I'm watching something, I instantly start trying to go like this on the thing so I can get all up in your hair and see what you are doing. Like, I will screenshot something if you're showing a product, but you don't necessarily say what it is. Make up anything, and I'll start trying to like so I can see it because I'm nosy. And so it just kind of caught on because I would be like, so if you nosy like I know you is, then continue to follow me. It's just kind of like my
You're
little
so right too about that zoom button. It's no longer for people that can't see. It's more for people to dissect every freaking morsel
nosy.
of a picture. Like, oh, she looks pretty from afar, but let me blow it up.
Let me blow that up and see.
Let me look at her nostrils and her see if she has any bags under her eyes, or you know what I mean. Like, that's what the zoom button is for.
Girl, they'd be like, does she have a piece of pepper in her teeth? Is that a piece of pepper?
Well, and for I'm sure for me, like, let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a wig. That's a wig spread. I'm like, you don't have to zoom on me because I'll just tell you what it is, because I'm in a season of trying to figure out my menopausal hair that is taking forever to grow out, that it is dang ridiculous. And I know I need to go on hormones, but I'm scared. I don't want to. That's a whole nother episode that we could talk about over 50 hair, but I'll get there. Don't worry about me. I'm good.
Over 50 hair is what kind of
So how do you balance being a content creator with being a mom of 4 and a fiance and all of your beautiful girl? Like, show them to, let them hear it in the back, girl. Put that up to the screen. Bring it. Woo! I mean, where are my sunglasses, girl? That thing is amazing.
It was a long time.
How do you balance? Because I know you travel, your lifestyle is beautiful. How do you balance content creation with all of those things without compromising and making anyone feel left out?
Right. Well, I'm in a very unique situation, right? I said that I have 4 kids. But what I didn't say is that they range in age from 14 to 34. So there's a 20-year age gap between the youngest and the oldest. So my ages of my kids are 14, 16, 27, and 34. So I have 2 older kids who are out of the house, hallelujah. And the 2 younger ones are at an age where they're really self-sufficient. It's just I'm monitoring what they're doing.
Well, and you have to be the Uber driver that doesn't get paid.
Right.
Don't forget about that job.
And all the things. But they're also at school all day. So when they're at school is when I'm, in my creative element and doing my thing for, my content creation element of everything. And it just kind of works out. And then when they get home, I pour into them and my honey bunny and so it just kind of works out. And this is the other thing. For me, I don't feel pressured to create content.
Okay.
If I don't have anything meaningful to say or anything real to say, I just don't say anything.
Well, some people would cut the full off of meaningful. If I don't have or the ingful, if I don't have anything mean to say, I mean, some people are so mean. It is, and we're going to talk about some of your mean comments. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
I should have screenshot it and had it ready to go, but woo, child, you
Well,
get mean comments. And how you, I mean, doing this in your leisurely time, not to monetize, but just because you want to share your story and having to deal with that. Most people would say, you know what, bump that. I'll
right.
just go and live my best life, taking private jets and doing all the things, visiting all the countries, and deal with my own little curly hair. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you take it on, like you're like, bring it. How do you? Where do you get that strength, like that thicker skin?
Yeah. That's an excellent question because the internet can be very mean. It can be a very mean place, a place where people bully you. I've been bullied like you would not believe, especially when I first came out and was sharing like my story. And by the way, I was one of their biggest supporters before I noticed things were wrong. And then once I started asking questions and like I said, they blocked me, that's when I was like, no, you know what? I'm not going to be censored. I'm going to share this because if it's happening to me and it happened to my friend Rosie, I'm like, there's got to be other people. And so, even though it's been challenging, I have decided that I'm going to use my voice and, like I said, not be censored because for all the negative messages, I've gotten so many messages from women that reach out to me and they may not say it publicly, but they say it privately and they're like, "Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you because I thought I was going crazy. I didn't know what was happening to my hair. You saved my hair." Or, "Hey, I've had the big chop, but because of the things that you've shared and how you're maintaining your hair and growing your hair back out and getting it and having it be healthy again, I'm following you and it's helping me because I felt overwhelmed and lost." I'm
Love it.
going to read something really quick.
Yeah,
And
do share.
yeah, it's a post that someone left on a video. She said, "File a lawsuit if you feel you should. I'm not pushing it." Well, she said already, "I'm not pushing it because I'm not the one crying on YouTube and chopping my hair off for views and attention." And then I just told her, laugh out loud, "Girl, go touch some grass and remove yourself from over here. By the way, don't skip leave-ins or deep conditioners, which I'm sure you've already added back in too, just like your cult leader." I wonder where y'all got that little tidbit from. So I've started to clap back because I'm tired of being like nice, sweet Shelly and just taking it on the chin. Especially as these people pivot and utilize the remedies that we've come up with without giving any credit. Um, I'm just over it. And it's
It's
like,
your prerogative.
yeah, I'm like, at some point, if I clap back hard enough, they're gonna know not to.
Well, people bully. Most bullies bully the weak, not
Yeah,
the strong.
yeah. Well, now that I've started to clap back like that, like telling people go touch some grass, like go get a life, go get some outside vitamin D and touch some grass.
Well, and I always say to people that where your default is mean comment, it's like, because I always go in and respond to mean comments on other content creators platforms that I follow, because I'm like, you could so easily, it would have taken you less time to hit the unfollow button and go on about your day. So why does this feel good to you?
Yeah, I'm like, why are
You
you?
are so frustrated that Shelly V is sharing her story in a detailed manner that is unappealing to you.
Yeah,
Guess what? Unfollow, click out of it, because there's like over 1 million more people that you could follow. I
yeah,
mean, it's this the most ridiculous display of behavior, and anyone wanting to represent themselves that way publicly and they're not embarrassed, that's where I get confused. I'm like, I would be Even if I think it, sometimes I even typed it, but you don't hit send.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, it's as simple as unfollowing the person, not watching the content. Like, clearly you're curious because you done watched it, and thank you for the view. Like, I don't understand it. And it's not like what I'm saying has not been validated, and I've brought
Yeah, and some people, I think they come in out of context. They start your journey in the middle of your journey. So if you're not someone, and that's not a tried and true person anyway, which is why they don't matter at the end of the day, right? So what's your next, for you in terms of content creation and your brand? What new projects are you excited about? Or do you have anything else in the works, or is this it for you?
So I'm someone, honestly, that I typically don't work with brands. I get a lot of emails asking me to collaborate, but I'm just at a point where, unless it's something that I really believe in and want to try, like your virtue, uh, that's something that I'm like, okay, I'm excited about that. But all the other goofy stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna pass. And plus, I don't want to be influenced. The influencer doesn't want to be influenced, or to feel like you have to say something's good because someone paid you. I'm like, no. I just,
yeah, we talk about that a lot. I've talked about that on the show with other guests about that branding, and you're literally branded.
yes,
And they, you got this, you got to follow the script because they're paying you to.
yeah.
So,
And I just want to do that.
there's always that.
Yeah.
So
And
what, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I refuse to be like a walking commercial unless it's something that is so amazing and phenomenal. Then I'm down. And so what is next for me is basically, I want to grow my hair back out to waist length hair. And I feel like I'm well on my way now. And it'll just be my journey to show, like, hey, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And so that's what I'm most excited about.
Oh my God, that's going to be amazing. And I will be there for the ride. And I'm super excited. Well, Shelly V, we have come to the end of our chat, which went so well. I had just so much fun. It's always nice to talk to you in person, on screen, wherever I can get time with you, I will take it. So I appreciate you carving out time for me in your busy day to come on to my new show.
It's awesome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me, allowing me to share my experience in the natural hair community and just what, has happened with my natural hair, so that maybe it may help someone else, or even make a stylist more aware if they should hear these methods being promoted, No,
yeah, absolutely. I thought it was important to have you on because you illustrated so well that anyone can follow along, and every step of the way, or every step that you took, that is. And so had to have you. It took a while to get you, but I got you finally. Like, woo! Thank you for watching part 2 of my interview with Shelly V. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time. Bye.